Hi, Gene with today's thought, and today's thought is going to pick up on yesterday's thought. Now, yesterday's thought, I showed the recent polling of Trump versus Biden, and well, here, let me put it up. Okay, so now you're looking at yesterday's chart that I put up. This is most recent polls, RealClearPolitics.com, the website. They keep track of these things. Then the average at the top. So you see the average of the recent polls. Trump is ahead, and you see in the you have to go all the way back 9 polls to find one where Biden is ahead. So you see a lot of the polls are tied, and some Trump is slightly ahead, but he's also ahead 4 points in one poll, 5 points in another one, and this one that everybody's talking about, the most recent one, Trump ahead of Biden 10 points. ABC Washington Post poll. Washington Post is claiming it's an outlier. To me, you have to wait to see the next poll before you can call it an outlier. But they're obviously very worried about this poll. And I said yesterday, don't get too excited if you're a conservative, if you're going to support the Republican ticket, because it could be an outlier. In all fairness, it could be, because that is a dramatic increase. But if you're a Democrat, would I say, well, don't necessarily worry, it's just one poll? I would say, no, you better start worrying, because you can see that you have to go back 9 polls to find one where Biden is ahead. And you see those last few polls there that Biden is only ahead by 1 point, and no 4-point lead, no 5-point lead, let alone a 10-point lead. So you see, they have a reason to worry, and that was my question yesterday. Is it time for the flop sweat? But to show how much trouble they are in, and they are in a lot of trouble, the Democrats, and I'm going to show it right now, because you just saw, well, take one look, you look at these numbers, and remember, as you can see, the blue numbers in the right column means that the Democrat Biden is ahead. Red means Trump, and just if it says tie, obviously in black ink, it means it's just a tie. But keep that in mind, blue and red, because I'm going to show you now all the polls leading up to the 2020 election, the very first poll, all the way up to the one the day before the election. And let's put it up. You're looking at all the polls of the 2020 election. The most recent poll, all the way on the left, starting from the day before the election, going all the way back to all the way on the right. It is in the beginning. And you have to go all the way to the right early in the polling to find any poll where Trump was ahead. And there were only 3 polls where he was ahead. All the rest of the polls, Biden is ahead for the entire election, from the start of polling all the way through. No going back and forth. Biden ahead the entire time. So compare that again to the recent poll for this election, and you can see why they have reason. If I were a Democrat, why I would have reason to panic. And it's obvious that they are, because they aren't trying, well, they were trying to, all these, you're going to hear from Tulsi Gabbard in a moment. She's a former Democrat who became an independent, and I don't agree with her on a lot of things, but she's one of these liberals, well, on the left anyways, left of center, I would say, who calls them as she sees them, and she's pretty fair. So she's talking about these political, and that's what they are, political persecutions of Trump, all these trials and these indictments, and the idea was and is to damage Trump. The idea was that they were hoping that Trump would be the nominee, and he would lose, that the Republicans would be committing political suicide by nominating him. Actually, a replay of the 2016 election, where the Democrats were rooting for Trump to be the nominee, because they were so sure that he would lose. And well, we know how that turned out. So now the 2024 election coming up, they were talking about, well, yeah, we want Trump to be the nominee, and we want to damage him as much as possible. But that changed recently. They're still doing that tactic, but they have another one. They're trying to use I talked about this before, the the 14th Amendment to, I won't go into detail on that. Unless you ask me to, I'll do it in another vlog. But they're trying to use that to disqualify him from running at all. And there have been several court cases already, or at least 2 that I'm aware of. And the people trying to keep him off the ballot, they lost both of them. It's just absurd. But the point is that now they are trying to keep him off the ballot. So what happened? They wanted him to be on the ballot, so sure that he would lose. Now they're trying to keep him off the ballot completely. And that's because, as you're going to hear Tulsi Gabbard say in a moment, that they're starting to realize that he could win. He could win. And I would also mention finally that the betting average, the people who put up their money betting on the election, and keeping in mind they were totally wrong in 2016. So don't take what they say as gospel. But there was Biden was pretty like 4 or 5 points ahead in the average of the betting websites, and now it's narrowed to less than 2 points. I think 1.4 points, something like that. Well, you can see the tide may be turning, and you can see the Democrats may be panicking, and I'm going to show you why. They have good reason. And well, you just saw it, but I want to now just have Tulsi Gabbard just sum it all up. And here she is.
Anyone who's looking at what's happening with clear eyes and an open mind can recognize how overtly they are trying to keep President Trump off of the campaign trail, to keep him away from being able to make his case to voters in this country of why they should elect him as president and commander-in-chief once again. They're afraid that he actually could win, which is why they are committing this such egregious abuse of power that cuts so much deeper than just going after President Trump, because what they're really doing is setting this precedent that puts the United States of America not on a high platform of trying to be an example of democracy to the world, but of reducing our great country to none other than a banana republic and an abuse of power that we see happening in other countries around the world.
That's my thought for today. Thanks for stopping by. If you could subscribe, that would really be great. Share this video with anyone you think would benefit from it. But most of all, come back and see me again. We'd love to see all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.